to be fighting Chris Ray Gun this year, which was really exciting for all of us like hardcore YouTubers who's been in the game for a while. We all know Froggy Fresh. We're all fans of Froggy Fresh. Exciting stuff. Now, obviously, most of you know this, but for some of you that don't, there was a bit of a beef between Sam Hyde and iDubbbz. They had those documentaries on each other back and forth about 2 years ago now. And on the first Creator Clash, Sam Hyde trained Harley, who was in that event. And Sam Hyde actually got banned from Creator Clash. So it was very clear that iDubbbz was holding a grudge against Sam Hyde to the point where he was banning him from the event. This year, Froggy Fresh got trained by Sam Hyde. And apparently we now know, and we'll get into the details of this, but iDubbbz called him asking him a lot of questions about that. And then the next thing that took place is after the training with Sam Hyde, Froggy Fresh made a joke that if he lost the match or something, he would sub to Anissa's OnlyFans. Very lighthearted joke. The inside scoop of that joke is basically his opponent, Chris Ray Gun, and Anissa had a podcast together, and everyone has always made this meme that the two of them were dating. So that was the background and the context of that joke. Didn't seem like a big deal, but apparently Anissa's mom, iDubbbz's mother-in-law, didn't like that. Started calling Froggy Fresh an imp, saying that his brain was broken and all that. Froggy Fresh responded with some lighthearted videos, just on the defense, not even on the fucking offense. And ever since then, things were kind of cool. And then bam, they announced that they were kicking him off the card. We did a space here. There was 4,000 people here. Every major YouTuber that covers like drama and, stuff like this has covered the story. Today, it was actually on Philip DeFranco who covered the story. So this is a massive, massive story that people have been paying attention to. I've covered it on Drama. And Creator Clash is getting a ton of hate. An absolute, they're getting demolished. And they knew they were going to get hate at the very beginning because they turned replies off when they made the initial statement that Froggy Fresh was off. A little bit of news happened yesterday. Dad and Harley both, and Harley's here. He's actually requested to come up, and we will have him up. But Dad and Harley have been like kind of being the PR frontmen for Creator Clash, saying really good things about iDubbbz and Creator Clash nonstop. iDubbbz and his wife, the actual like creators of Creator Clash, they haven't said anything. They haven't spoke on this. So it's weird how they threw Dad to the wolves and Harley to the wolves. Very, very strange when, neither one of them actually even own Creator Clash. But Dad was making some comments about the people defending Froggy. He was basically calling them slime balls. Sam Hyde told Dad that he would lose 70 pounds to fight Dad in a boxing match. And then Dad basically said he would not associate himself with a bad guy like Sam Hyde, and said something about he had to go make a movie. Today, it's been relatively quiet, other than Philip DeFranco covering the story, which was another big wave of this story getting big again. And then all of a sudden, we got a statement from Creator Clash, which basically said that they wanted to add, more context, more details in their reasoning of why they got rid of Froggy Fresh. But they didn't really add too much. So I'm going to go to Froggy right now, who's on stage. Froggy, what did you think of that statement?
It's just not accurate.
So I think it's best if maybe like I go and read the statement. Bo Blacks, do you have good audio right now? Are you on a phone?
I'm on my phone, but is the audio good?
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good enough. Could you read the statement for us?
Okay, I'll try to get to it. 1 second.
I was just kind of blown away by reading this statement because I was like, oh, okay, now we're going to figure out where they're coming from. No, I didn't get any details.
Yeah, we didn't learn that much. Okay, it says, As you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh would be leaving the Creator Clash 2 ticket. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision to help clarify some of the online chatter. We have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with Creator Clash this year. The Creator Clash 2 team, inclusive of the production company, takes violations seriously and made several unsuccessful attempts to address them directly with Froggy Fresh in hopes we could work together to get things back on track. When it became clear that the exhibited behavior wasn't stopping, at risk to the other fighters, fans, and others involved in the event, the Creator Clash 2 team made the collective decision to move forward without Froggy Fresh on the ticket. Our number one priority is ensuring Creator Clash 2 is a positive, safe, welcoming space for everyone. We look forward to kicking off an amazing event and raising a lot of money for charity. Creator Clash and iDubbbz have already donated $50,000 for each of Froggy Fresh's supported charities: Kids Cancer Foundation and Nicholas Children's Hospital, for a total of $100,000. They will also remain beneficiaries of money raised throughout the event itself. The fighters have all been working so hard and can't wait to get into the ring. Let's focus on their fights, not any that may exist online. Creator Clash 2.
Okay, well, first of all, obviously, we're probably going to challenge a lot of this stuff. So before we do that, it was a good thing that they donated $100,000 to Froggy Fresh's charity. So, like, at least that's good out of this. But we didn't really learn anything. If he had multiple violations, what were they? Froggy, speak on this. Do you know anything about what they're talking about?
No,
They said they contacted you multiple times, or attempted to, and they couldn't get a hold of you. What are they?
no. I got contacted like a handful of times total, period, about anything, which is not a big deal. Like, I don't need people to call me or nothing, but like the third time Ian ever called me was after Sam Hyde retweeted me. And like, I don't even want to get into all that right now. Like, that's probably later. But like, as far as any offenses, when I was in Providence, Justin Tracy called me like once and texted and asked if I had time to talk. I was training with Sam the entire time I was there. I asked if he could communicate through text or email, please. And I never got a text or email. And the next time that I was contacted was a text from Justin Tracy to ask if I had seen the email that I was terminated.
And you said before that was like 5 minutes before they announced it on Twitter.
It was like it was in between 5 to like maybe 15 minutes, something like that.
So, Bo Blacks, could you read the line about them, like, numerous attempts of contacting me, or what is the exact statement?
Yeah, they said like there was numerous attempts to contact Froggy Fresh unsuccessfully about multiple violations. So that's what they said. I guess maybe there's multiple instances where Froggy, made jokes that they don't like, and they reached out and they're like, "Hey, can you not do that?" Maybe, but Froggy would know. So Froggy, what do you think these violations are?
I mean, I wouldn't know. They haven't told me what the violations were.
Look, if his violations were online behavior, right? I mean, you have every commentary person. You got Drama Alert. You got Philip DeFranco. You got Moist Critical. You got all these people looking into it, trying to figure out why he got kicked off the card. And the only thing we can come up with is the OnlyFans line and potentially training with Sam Hyde. That's it. That's the only thing we got.
Yeah, I can't think of any other violation that like sticks out in my mind for what could be considered one. Maybe every time he went back and forth with the mom was a repeated violation. So there's like three, maybe. I have no clue what the logic
Harley
there
just
is.
texted me. He wants on. We will definitely have Harley on. I just want to get through this because Froggy Fresh put out two or three tweets in reference to the statement. One was about the call with iDubbbz. Can you talk about that?
Honestly, you can even bring Harley on because I know they sent Harley to come fight for him. So like, let Harley talk too, and then I can talk about whatever.
And then also you put out a tweet that they're threatening a lawsuit. So that's out there as well, which is, I mean, how much more overkill can you get? But I guess we'll bring Harley on to see what he has to say. Harley, you there?
Yeah. What up?
What are
Did
your
you say
thoughts on the
that?
statement?
Real quick. No, no one sent me here to fight. I would never go and fight someone else's beef. So no, Anissa and Dubs probably rather that I not be here. Froggy. So no, I never got sent to go fight someone else's fight. Have you ever done that? Anyways, moving along. I pulled up the contract here because I hear I'm listening to you guys. You're like, I don't know what he could have done. Well, you didn't sign the contract. You didn't look at his contract.
Yeah, I
Every
just don't know
fighter,
legitimately.
Well,
every
that's why we're
fighter,
saying we don't know
right?
what he could have
Every
done.
fighter.
Yeah,
Remember, it's not me. It's not my event. I'm not here to fight for them. And like you said, Keem, I'm not the mouthpiece of the event. I just sit here and I listen to you guys talk sometime, and I'm like, is this some sort of weird exercise in nonsense? We're acting like we don't know. The guy behaved himself poorly. He did. Yes, I went and trained with Sam. And I know that they're not friendly. But when I came back, I didn't diss the owner of the event who has bad blood with Sam. And Froggy stated himself when he misunderstood the text that I sent, he thought I said Sam was off limits. If I said Sam was off limits, in my experience, why would you go work out with Sam? That's cool. Do it. He helped me train with him. That's cool. But why would you go work out with him? Come back and fight for him. It's like you came back and you were a pawn in some game of 4D chess, and I think you found out that iDubbbz and Anissa don't play games. So that's on you. And now you're acting like a child, being like, I don't know what I did. Yeah, you do, bro. Yeah, you do. You know exactly what you did. Fighter
Well,
agrees,
I don't really
represents,
see.
hold up, represents and warrants that he and his accompanying personnel shall conduct themselves in conformity with public convention morals and standards of decency. I really don't even need to continue. But like, yeah, if you're like a fighter in the event, there's lots of things that you know you can't do based on the contract that sure could be open for interpretation, but straight up calling iDubbbz a pimp in reference to what his wife does to their mom, not really something you can fully get away with. Secondly, after shit hits the fan, maybe hit them up and talk to them instead of making references to that time a bulldozer went over and bulldozed over a town.
Harley,
Like
I don't
there's
mean to.
ways, there's professional ways to go about this, and it's not happening. And everyone else, they're not like me. They don't want to come here and talk to you guys. They don't want to talk to them. And a lot of those creators, they have fans that don't even know this shit's going on. So as much as you want to blow up Creator Clash, there's a lot of people that aren't that familiar with the
Harley,
beef that is going
I
on
don't
on
want to
Twitter right
interrupt.
now.
I don't want
But
to
you keep
interrupt.
doing it, so just go ahead.
But because you're making multiple points, and I want to get Froggy a chance to respond because it's this point, then that point, then that point, and it's like
It's hard. I know it's hard to keep track of like 6 things. Trust me, I've seen it. It's like people can't connect the dots. It's like you can't connect 6 simple dots. So let's go one at a time, and then we can refute each one at a time, even though point three refutes point one. But yeah, sure. Let's go through it if we want. Like everyone's acting surprised. You disrespect the owner of the event. You got removed.
Well, I
Like
mean,
I'm
I'm
not.
shocked.
I'm
I
not
can
sitting
tell
here
you,
being like,
I'm
why?
absolutely shocked. Harley, I'm
And another
shocked
thing, can I just say
because
something real quick before this continues? If someone doesn't have a YouTube channel, please do not say their first and last name on here. They're just real people with real jobs. They're not in the weirdo YouTube world like we are. Don't say their first and last name.
okay. Anyhow, I'm shocked. You said don't act shocked. I'm shocked. I think the internet is shocked when these jokes, and we've seen these jokes and these tweets be made, and the reaction was to kick him off the card because we're talking about iDubbbz, like the YouTuber iDubbbz and his wife, a Twitch streamer, Anissa, like they're public figures. We know them. We are shocked by the reaction of kicking Froggy Fresh off the card based on the tweets.
Why?
We're shocked. That's like
Why are you shocked?
ridiculous.
Imagine you hired me to do something, okay? And you hired me, and I was going to go do it. And then the week before, I went and I hung out with H3H3. And the day I came back, I went, Keem, fuck your daughter. Would you not think that that's charged in some strange way? Would you
Well,
not
I
think
mean,
there's an element there? Like you were so caught up on the lore and
I'm not
understanding
sure
how
that
deep things are.
I'm not sure that Froggy Fresh said anything about anyone's kids. Like that's
no, he said he made the hint like, oh, I'll subscribe to your OnlyFans. Like he downplayed the OnlyFans, and then that just kickstarted stuff. And then I looked at Anissa's mom's Twitter account. How do we know her name? I went and I looked at that. How do you know that person's name? How do we know that that's her Twitter account? How did we know that? Where does it say her name
well,
there?
do you not want to say names of not public people or not?
No, I saw the name that he tweeted, but I just looked at that account. Where's the name? It
Okay,
doesn't say
so
it there. Froggy, where did you get her name?
I mean, I've heard it around the internet, bro.
Okay.
Also,
those
Harley,
places where you would hear that around the internet, bro, like I think those aren't the best places to like maybe feed into you having a positive attitude about the creators. It sounds like you've been in some weird places of the internet and you kind of tweeted it about it a bit. You kind of leaned into that a bit.
Well,
like,
Harley, are you
went
saying that
Rhode
it's
Island,
not her mom?
No, I'm just so curious because I went and I did it and I was like, okay.
I just want to make sure that you're not saying that because, like,
no, I went and I looked and I was like, oh, so her name is not there. Who found out that this is a name? It looks like a burner account.
I mean, Harley, it's in a popular article, dude. Like, it's all over Twitter. Where's that article?
Yeah, what website is that article from?
Not only that, but if you search that that Twitter account and Anissa's Twitter account, you can see conversations mother and daughter like throughout the years on Twitter.
I didn't go to the dark web to get.
Hey, honestly, Froggy, it feels like you kind of just like you. I knew you were gonna hit it off there, bro. I knew that. I messaged you. I was like, you're gonna have a great time there. I did. I love that place. I love those guys. But I think the way you came back, the energy that you were on, worked against you. And I'm shocked when things started to take off and you were, making the comments on Twitter, you didn't respond back. You didn't respond back to them reaching out to you. I'm surprised you didn't do that. I'm surprised you're here saying that you didn't get paid $15K
Harley,
for training.
I did respond.
Did you get paid $15K for training?
Did you hear when I told you the last contact was?
Yeah.
When I was in Rhode Island and Justin Tracy
I saw something different.
I messaged him back. And I said, please, can you communicate through text or email? I'm training.
So he was like,
your
fight?
Dude, don't interrupt. Harley, you're interrupting me. That's not fair. I didn't interrupt you. So that was the last time they reached out. That was it. So that I reached back to Justin Tracy. No text, no email. A week later, I'm out of the event. Or no, 2 nights later when I get home. 3 nights later, 3 nights. Like, that's it. There was nothing else.
The event organizers called you and you didn't speak to them?
Real quick,
back immediately.
Real quick, I have tweeted out the article that has the proof in it. It's on my Twitter. I just tweeted it out.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. So at no point when you got hit up by Creator Clash, you weren't like, shit, hold on, let me stop training for the boxing match that's at jeopardy right now. And let me see what's going on.
I don't understand why couldn't that have been communicated through text or email if it was that important?
You're a grown-ass man. If things escalated, pick up the phone and be
grown men can't communicate through text or email.
Be like, Ian, Anissa, what's up? Did you not like the joke when I dissed your wife's content? Should I not
Why do I need to reach out to Ian or Anissa?
Should I not have doxed your mom? Should I not have doxed your mom on her burner Twitter account? Should I not have done that? It was the hype of the fight.
Whoa.
He still never spoke to them.
You gotta let me address your points one at a time. How was I even supposed to know Ian and Anissa were mad when I get one call from Justin Tracy, then a text message? I respond to it immediately, say, "Could you communicate through text or email? I'm training," and then nothing else. I still don't even know if Ian
What's the last text you sent to Anissa?
It was probably some group message from
but what was the last text
4 months
you said to Anissa, just you two?
I said something. I don't remember. I never remember talking to Anissa.
Anissa doesn't have your phone number?
No, anything that was communicated would have been in a group chat with me,
never
my
texted
wife,
you directly. Anissa never texted you directly?
I never have a direct text from Anissa that I can remember, no.
Oh, that you can't remember. Well, it'd be cool if you had a device
no, I don't have
you could pull
one.
up right now and actually have everything archived and you'd be able to look at it right now. Do you have a phone?
Harley.
Well, no, I don't. I don't. Harley, stop. I don't have one direct text. Harley, I'm not lying. Yeah. I don't have one direct text from Anissa. I have
never texted you.
with and my wife and Anissa. There's a group chat.
Your
I do
wife
not have
and
any
I'm
direct
so sorry.
contact.
Okay. Did anyone ever text you and your wife? What was the last thing Anissa sent you and your wife to you and your wife's phone? What was the last thing?
Tense moments in the Twitter space as Froggy goes to see.
It's, hey, Tyler, I'm not with Ian. I'm home visiting family. Ian called me not feeling great, and I'm just trying to understand what's happening or how I can
What's
help.
the date?
Sunday, March 12th.
You didn't want to respond to that?
No, because you don't know the
So
context of that. You don't have the
you want to
context.
go
Harley,
at
let me give
her
you the
mom off the
context.
burner Twitter account instead of responding to that very serious and
Harley,
sympathetic text that was nowhere
I
near
have to give
threatening or
context.
aggressive. Sure, give us
I
context.
have to give the
Well,
context.
March 12th. I mean,
Harley.
shit, that's like 2 weeks ago.
No. Not only that, but I have to give the context of that text message, okay? Do you want the context? Because that will clarify why that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
After Sam retweeted that I was going to Providence to train, Ian called me 15 minutes later. I was getting out of the shower.
Were you surprised that Ian called?
Hey. No, I
Why?
wasn't.
Yeah, because I told you. You
'Cause
knew that there was beef between them that I told you.
No, I knew that. I wasn't surprised because you said we weren't allowed to work with Sam.
Lie. You read the text message wrong. That's a lie.
No,
yeah, that's a lie.
You said
I won't
you said
be
you couldn't
filming.
work on anything with
I
Sam.
said I won't be
It's not a
filming
lie.
with Sam. I'm allowed to
No,
train with him.
no,
By contract, you could
I
train
got
with
to read the
whoever you
text
want.
again, bro.
I'll post it
I gotta
after
go read
this.
the
You can
text.
train with whoever you want. Doesn't matter what you say. Even if Ian had a problem with it, contractually, I can go train with whoever I want. What I can't do is train with whoever I want and come back and start insulting him on Twitter. That I can't do. That he has the right to remove me.
I'm gonna have to read the text again to clarify.
Sure. As I said, it doesn't matter. Even if he said, Harley, you can't train with Sam Hyde, I'd be like, I have in contract, I can go train with him if I want. If I want to. What I can't do is come back and insult the owners of the event after training with someone who I knew they weren't that comfortable with and who I knew they were trying to reach out to me at that time. So why would you come back and insult her on Twitter when she tried to reach out to you to be like, hey, it's kind of weird. Ian doesn't feel well about it. Can we talk? Why'd you do that?
All right. I was going to read the text.
Okay, buddy. It's like you clearly missed the whole point of what I was saying. Guys, don't want to see.
Yo,
I actually do. I have a
text.
boxing match coming up. I'm heading out.
I was just going to read the
Wait,
text.
Harley,
don't
leave yet. You just made like
I said everything that makes sense. It only makes less sense.
But he
from
has
this
to
point
counter
forward.
the points.
Sure. And like I said, it doesn't matter because I said, even if they told me I cannot train with him, you could. What you can't do is train with him, come back, and then insult them. That's what you did. And reading the text doesn't change that. I still think he read the text wrong. But regardless, it doesn't change the main point. She reached out to him and was like, hey, what's up? He ignored her, insulted them on Twitter. Why is everyone acting like a fucking idiot here, being like, why is this happening? You don't get to insult the owners of the event like that.
Is it confirmed that they're going to try to sue him?
No, they're not suing him. They just don't
Dude,
want
I'll
him
even
to,
address that.
They probably don't
can
want
I
him
address
to,
the text first?
disparage the event since
Harley,
they paid him
I'm
15 or
confused.
17K.
Do you
paid,
represent
right,
Creator Clash or not? Because like
I represent me, and I'm boxing at Creator Clash. Do you represent the rival boxing promotion team?
Right? I support Creator Clash. What are you
talking about Coca-Cola, and this guy owns Pepsi, and no one's pointing that shit out.
Harley, I support Harley. Did I support your fight last year?
Really, you just need to be close to there.
Harley, did I support your fight last year?
It's a big boxing conversation that you want to be a part of.
Did I support your fight last year?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
right?
Thank you.
What'd you do?
I rest my case.
But what did you do to support it?
So the point is this:
you put a like on a tweet. What did you do to support it?
He put a like on a tweet.
That's what I did. I put a like on a tweet, guys.
What did you do to support the fight, Keem?
I like tweets from multiple accounts.
Literally, from a Drama Alert and a KeemStar account. What did you do to support the fight?
Yo,
what are you talking about?
I'm
Can
sorry,
I quantify what you're
talking
about?
Is there any credence to the lawsuit thing? Are they trying to get money back from Froggy Fresh? Are they trying to get that $15K back? Are they going to do anything legal?
I mean,
I bet they would not. They probably just like normally. It's like,
can we let Froggy answer that question, Harley?
But Froggy doesn't have any answers. When are you going to figure that out, Keem? He doesn't have
Harley, I try to address, like, you make 4 points in a row and then don't let nobody address nothing, dude. So
Okay, well,
like,
how
yeah, I
did
mean,
Keem
so
support? How did you support my fight, Keem? Hilarious thing to say. How did you support it?
Well, then we're gonna go right into the lawsuit. But yeah, of
We're
course
Sure,
I
going
support
right
it.
into it. Here we go,
sure.
fellas.
So
Support it.
Harley, you don't remember me like putting out all those tweets and like, you know, cheering for you, saying that
Thank
you're
you.
like back, Epic Mealtimes back, hyping you. You don't
Thank you.
remember any of
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I liked that. That
Okay.
was cool. But
Well, that's what I'm
what
talking
am I
about.
supposed to do? Be like, oh yeah, so Froggy's allowed to call iDub the pimp
No, no,
because
no, no,
you
no, no.
supported my
Stop,
fight
stop,
last
stop.
year.
You're losing the conversation. You said Keemstar is here because he represents a rival boxing event. I responded by saying I supported.
Did you offer me a boxing contract after my fight?
Yes, yes, I did.
So was there not a vested interest in supporting my fight? In the event that I won or whatever, would it not look better if you were like, I was supporting you the whole time? Now here's this offer for a boxing match.
I mean, if
So
you
once
want to
again,
look
I
at
Damn.
me,
mean,
if you
we
want to look at me that
understand
way,
that.
Damn.
I don't look at you like that, but I think everyone should also remember that you're Happy Punch and you're talking about Creator Clash. And Creator Clash, I think, is the one different boxing promotion from all the others. And why is it different? Because there's just not, it's not the Wild West like that. You don't get to go and diss the creators of the event for no reason. You don't get to do that. You just got to behave yourself.
so it's boring,
Be
is what you're
proper.
saying. It's not as fun as the
Yeah,
others.
maybe it's boring. Maybe it's not as fun as the others. Maybe.
I
Maybe.
say I say it's good people having clean fun.
Yeah. For a good cause.
Anyhow, can we talk about the lawsuit stuff? Because you know, Sam was asked about the lawsuit. I asked
There's
about the
as far as
lawsuit,
I'm
and then
concerned, there's
Harley
no
responded and
lawsuit.
said they're not suing. So it's confusing because I want Froggy to answer that question.
He just can't talk shit about Creator Clash if they paid him money. If he wants to keep the money, don't talk shit about Creator Clash. Just kind of like shut up and start training for your
Wait,
next
I just
boxing
asked
match.
him to
I love
answer.
you
Are you
all.
Huh?
trying
You're all
to are you
beauties.
trying to
I
scare
actually
him?
have to train for a fight. Bye.
all right,
What?
now you guys want me, now you want me to address this stuff now?
Yes, please.
Jesus Christ, dude. How's he gonna make like 6 points and I'm just sitting there waiting for him to get done talking? My God. So now he don't even want to be here to defend himself because now I gotta read the
Hey,
tweet.
Froggy, he said his piece, and now he said
Bro,
peace.
I mean, I would like for him to come back just like if he got something to say because I was just like he's not even here to refute what I'm gonna say.
Man, you are just getting stepped on, brother. I hate to see this. I would, if I could kill 1,000 people to fix the situation, I would.
I know you would, Sam, because you had my
In
back literally from the
Minecraft, he
beginning.
meant in Minecraft.
I meant in my favorite video game, Keem, which is the one
Yeah.
with Agent 47. What's it? Hitman. I
Yes,
would
that
kill a
game.
million NPCs. But for honestly, I don't like seeing Froggy Fresh get stepped on because he's a um for real like very good dude, and he's there's nothing like weird or duplicitous about this kid. He really, and that's, I think that's why he doesn't gel with like iDubbbz, for example, is because like he's just an innocent, like Froggy Fresh is an innocent dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just seems like there's like a disconnect between the communication on like whether iDubbbz and Anisa did enough reaching out to warn Froggy Fresh of his behavior or not, right? Because if it's in the contract that you can't like make fun of Anisa's OnlyFans, and yeah, it's stupid, but I guess it's in the contract. But I feel like they didn't give him sufficient enough warning based on the conversations I heard between Harley
Well,
and Froggy. Like there
can
wasn't
I
enough
say
warning.
how incredibly frustrating it is for like me, Moist Critical, Philip DeFranco. Yeah, Philip DeFranco is still here, who's also covered the story. All the commentators, Nicholas Diorio, whoever. Do you know how frustrating it is for us trying to cover this story, represent all sides when iDubbbz and Anissa are not speaking? There's this weird AI generated like statement on the Creator Clash, right? And then you have Harley and Dad speaking for the company, and they're just getting destroyed. So it's like, what actually is their position? What is their point? What exactly did Froggy do that was so wrong? Like, we're not getting details. We're getting this weird, like, you know, when a YouTuber's in trouble and they put out some generic statement online, like it's going to help anything. That's what we're getting. Some PR weird shit. It's like we need real people. You know, iDubbbz built an entire fucking, millions and millions of fans based on being a YouTuber, connecting with the audience. And we have this issue and he's not speaking, and we need him to speak.
Yeah, I think based on what Harley said, I think the two issues are his OnlyFans comment and then responding to the mom in general, because that somehow like doxes the mom's name or something like that. So I guess that's the reason. I think that's I think that's ridiculous, but that's all I can kind of get. And their new statement doesn't really answer any questions. They said they want to clarify things, but like I don't know anything more than I did yesterday.
Let's get
So
to the lawsuit part, which everyone's on the edge of their seat for. Froggy, were you actually threatened with a lawsuit?
Yes, this is what their offer was. They wanted me to pay back the $15,000 that they sent me over the last 5 months for training, travel, equipment, and stuff like that, and also like a vow of silence on the situation. And if I signed that, they would drop any potential to sue for what they believe are damages that the event has incurred. So in other words, like, we're not going to sue you if you pay back the 15 grand and you shut up about it. But like, if you don't sign this, then we can pursue like to sue you based on damages that I brought to the event.
Okay. Nicholas Dioro is a commentator who is always obsessed with the optics, right? What are the optics on this with iDubbbz and Anissa and Creator Clash kind of making this proposal to Froggy? Are those good optics for them?
Yeah, I think it's delusional. I don't think they're actually going to do that. I think after the pushback that they got, it would be like career suicide to sue him after that. My best guess is that was just a scare tactic. We're going to threaten this, and then hopefully he'll just shut up and take the money, or else this is going to get much bigger. And it didn't go their way.
They weren't even offering money, though. They wanted money back plus shut up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give us the yeah.
Uh, um, so Harley had a bunch of crazy statements when he was in here. I wish he would have stayed longer so we could actually have a conversation, but he kept throwing so many different things, and then nobody could respond, so it got very convoluted.
Are you kind of shocked he came back? Like, he kind of acknowledged it was a bad idea to come the first time, and I kind of chalk that up to like he's just passionate about the charity. But isn't it kind of weird that he came back to talk to us again?
I think in Harley's mind, he has a good relationship with iDubbbz and Anissa, and he likes Creator Clash. He's doing a good thing, raising money for charity. And this issue comes up, and in his mind, he's like, "Well, obviously, you don't insult the boss. Like, he's in the wrong." And with him trying to like say that the first time, the whole internet just shit on Harley, and now he's in defensive mode. Right now he's like tripling down to defend the company, because what we just saw today was more of a defense than the first time we spoke to him.
Yeah, I think Harley's probably just he might just be getting anxious, and I don't think he realizes how whack iDubbbz and Anissa are. Like the lawsuit thing especially is that, like, I spend a lot of time on Twitter trying to start shit, and I really, I get into arguments with people all the time, and you would be surprised to hear that I don't want to do every evil thing to every person that I hate, but like suing someone is like, especially like as a huge organization that has a lot of money behind it, threatening to sue some kid that doesn't have millions of dollars to defend himself, um, that's like that's a very low thing to do to somebody. Like, it's a loss. Keem, I'm sure you've had legal problems in the past.
Yes.
It's not fun and games, man. It's fucking like life. It's like life ruining shit potentially. If a big organization or somebody with money gets you in their sights and starts throwing that shit around, that's like bullet in the head time.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the worst thing ever. And the
That's
fact
not that shit.
that
That shit's not a joke. It's not like a retweet or some kind of like, funny threat or joke about someone like, oh, you're gay. It's not like that. It's like here, I'll threaten to ruin you. It's not good, man.
it's
And
like
over what? A joke about OnlyFans?
so to give the audience some perspective, I'm just going to throw a guess out there just because, I have been sued multiple times. I've won every time. But yeah, Froggy Fresh would be in a position where he'd have to sell his house basically to fight this lawsuit. Like that would be like for a normal, average, middle class person, you're going to have to sell your home to fight a lawsuit like this. Like you're going to.
Exactly, man. That type of shit is it's not funny stuff to play around with. It's especially fucking uncool if you're a boxing if you're a hey, we're all friends here. We're having good, clean fun in this boxing organization. We're all fun. Like this fake nice guy shit. This Nathan Barnett dad guy. These fucking beta male fake nice guys that would, to be quite honest, they'd probably be rapists if they had have a chance to rape somebody.
Okay.
That Nathan Barnett guy. He's all smiles. He's all funny little jokes. He's joking around like he's in a commercial. I guarantee you that guy would rape somebody if he had the opportunity. I'm
Okay.
not even.
Yeah, but he could sue you for that though, Sam. Chill.
If he sues me, he's gonna learn the definition of torture.
Anyhow.
Yeah,
Any,
legally, he would rape somebody in Minecraft, by the way.
in
In Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yes.
Yes.
He if he had the chance to rape a woman, he would.
In Minecraft. In
No,
Minecraft.
not in Minecraft, Keem. These beta males, these guys that smile and their whole mating strategy is to come off as unthreatening. You know the type of guy that I'm talking about, where it's like their whole shtick is being unthreatening. That's the type of guy that actually does a rape. And I'm not saying this is not something I'm saying lightly to like I don't think that there's anything funny about rape. I think these people are fucking low. I think they're fucking dirt.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Nathan or Dad is anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, that's like crazy, like assumption. But
I know.
um,
I'm joking.
Sam is joking, and Sam and Nathan got into a big beef yesterday. Can we talk a little bit about that? So, I
Oh,
I see.
please do.
I seen how Nathan, aka Dad, right, who had a awesome win in Creator Clash 1. I like the guy. I have no issues with him, but he is kind of like Harley, like the YouTuber lawyer of Creator Clash, if you will. And he's been defending them every step of the way. And he put out a tweet calling everyone slime balls that are upset that Froggy's off the card. And you and Nathan got into
Dude,
it.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something too. You want to hear something? What you want to hear is something that makes this even more slimy, bro. I was down for Dad when nobody else was, and this motherfuckers. I was like, damn, Dad's a savage. Dad been working because I don't want to see nobody take no L's, especially because this dude's already in his early 40s. This motherfucker's coming up on the end. I want to see him catch wins. Why the fuck I want to see Dad fucking fail? I think Dad's got fucking hands. I think he's a savage. When I was at fucking Denny's, I was all like telling them, "Yo, Dad's a fucking savage," and they're all like, "No, no, Dad doesn't. Dad doesn't spar with high level fucking competition. He's gonna lose to AB." And I'm thinking, these
Wait,
motherfuckers are
so
what the
who
fuck?
said that? Who said that?
Fucking Ian and Anissa, like that's the way these motherfuckers are. And then they got Dad like riding for them. They don't even. And if like I wouldn't be like this, but if everybody's gonna keep calling me out, like I'm the fucking person that's fucking shit up, like that Dad's out here riding for them. They're all like they don't even fucking give a fuck about him.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, now we're kind of like, if that's true, we're seeing a little bit behind the curtain here, where Dad is getting bashed by Anissa
And
and
that's and
Ian.
that's no disrespect to AB because I like AB too. I've got no problem with nobody in this event. Nobody. I got no problem with nobody in this event. It's for fucking charity. Why am I having some problem with somebody in this damn event? I made a joke that obviously people got upset about, and I got a text message that I responded to, and then 3 days later, a "you're fired" email. So it's like that's what
I
it
want to go
is.
back to I
So
want to
like,
go back to something Harley said, right? Now, first of all, I'm coming from a place where I know I was backing Harley in Creator Clash 1 and promoting the event, but really like excited about Harley, Epic Mealtime. Like that's a guy I watched back in the day. That's a guy that inspired me. I remember there was a time in for us gamers where we couldn't even get partnered on YouTube. They didn't partner gaming channels, right? And that motherfucker Harley came out in a limo with Epic Mealtime and they had a saying called YouTube money, and all of us fucking gamers were saying it because we just got partnered and we got our first checks. Like that guy's like a fucking hero to us. So I was backing him. I was defending him. And for him to spin that to, oh, you run a competitive thing and you were trying to get me in there and da 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 da. It's like, yes, that is true, but I also like generally like supported you and fuck with you. And so I seen him kind of like spin stuff on you, saying that basically you went to go train with Sam Hyde, and what did he say? After you hung out with Sam Hyde, you went to go do Sam Hyde's bidding and attacked Anissa. What's your response to that allegation?
No, first off, nobody can do Sam Hyde's bit. Sam Hyde is the best comedian of all time and the best comedian of our generation. I couldn't do Sam Hyde's bit if I wanted to.
Damn.
So
But were you doing his dirty work by attacking Anissa?
no, it was just a bad joke at Chris Reagan. It's a bad joke. That it just wasn't. I guess it was
Keem,
a bad joke.
this kid, he doesn't have like duplicity or manipulation in his DNA. He's not this type of dude. He came out here. We first of all, we didn't talk about Anissa or iDubbbz at all, and his whole thing, like he's not a shit starter. I think people are reading into that the Chris Reagan Anissa joke like it's a streamer joke, I guess. I don't get it. I don't watch this streamer shit, but it's not like that. Like he's not trying to get up in this ass the way I do. And I don't think Froggy Fresh like has beef like that with even now with these two people. Like I think he's ready to if they were like apologize and you'll get your spot back as a fighter, I think he would do that. Not to speak out of turn for him, but I feel like it's not a beef thing. It's not like that. He just wants to do the fight that he was promised.
Yeah. For those of you that don't understand the lore or the joke that Froggy Fresh was making, he basically told Chris Ray Gun if he loses, he's going to sub to Anissa's OnlyFans. Well, a lot of people don't understand that joke, but here's the joke. Chris Ray Gun and Anissa used to have a podcast together back in the day. This is like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And the internet started a rumor that the two of them are dating and secretly dating. So that is the joke. That is the basis of the joke. When you have a fight coming up, I mean, you're supposed to talk shit to your opponent, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. So it's like that was his shit talk to. Am I right, Froggy? That is the context, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was like, he definitely seemed jacked up on Adderall or whatever. I was like, damn, he's definitely on Adderall, especially because he's liking all these tweets and he's just like popping all around like them snapper poppers that you get on the 4th of July that you throw around like pop, pop, pop. Like that's how he was moving. And I was like, he's definitely on Adderall. I thought that would be something fun.
Interesting, interesting. I understand that Sneeko is in the building. Sneeko request. I think he has something to say on the matter, which will be interesting and make this even more toxic. Um, yeah, I don't. Where do you go from here? That statement, and I really, if can we read the statement again, Bo Blacks, if you will, because it's so frustrating when we're seeing lines about, they contacted him multiple times. He's saying no, that didn't happen. All right, we're seeing the lines where, he had multiple violations. What are these violations? Like the Anissa thing, yes, maybe that was in their code of conduct or whatever. But what are the other violations? I don't get it. What are they talking about? Like, if you're gonna make a statement like that, why not just reference everything so you're transparent and there's no more mess, right? Like this to me felt like a PR statement, all right? That was bullshit, like all PR statements are for fucking content creators or companies or whatever. And then to hide the fact of like wrongdoing or whatever, or a bad call for kicking him off, they donated the money. Now, them donating the money to Froggy's charities is a good thing, but it
Yeah.
can't come after potential lies on the situation with no details. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they say this post was to clarify. I really think the only reason they made this post is because Gideon from our last space had that like $1,000 or $100,000 charity bid to get Froggy back on, and they're like, oh, well, this kind of looks bad if we don't bring him back on and deny 100K to charity. So we're just gonna say he's off, but we're donating 100K to charity, so don't worry.
Yo, that's so fucking funny too because it doesn't change anything. There's still 100K on the table if they're not accepting for charity. It's
Yeah,
like,
another additional
bro, they should have just
100K.
matched it and put him back on the card and stop being a like.
Yeah, in case anyone's confused, last space that we did, there was like 4,000 people here. Gideon said that he would donate $100,000 to Creator Clash to go to all the charities if they put Froggy back on, and they've been silent. Like, look, as a fan of this YouTube stuff and watching YouTubers and whatnot, do you know how frustrating it is to not hear from either one of them, Anissa or iDubbbz? Like they should just make a YouTube video and explain what's going on.
Yeah, I think they should explain as well, or just say we made a mistake and like revert it. Because like, if I look very generously, like benefit of the doubt with what Harley was saying and what they're supposedly saying, like I guess it's in the clause that you shouldn't like shit talk or whatever. So he shat talk, and they're like, okay, you're off. But I still think like after listening to Froggy here and seeing the whole thing go down, like you can see that Froggy made a mistake. He didn't know that was in violation, and he clearly is a fan of everybody on the card and wants to do this for charity, and he's ready to fight. So just let him back on. It's not like if he, Froggy, if you're let back on, it's not like you're gonna make another OnlyFans joke about Denise, right? Like,
No, I mean, like if they make me sign a contract that I can't, then I won't.
You know, I find it so strange because it's like, you know,
That was a joke. That was a joke. Obviously, I wouldn't do any more
And
OnlyFans
to
jokes.
and to throw my own thing in there, if they let Froggy back on the card, I won't tweet at Ian or Anissa ever again. I'll shut up forever. How about that?
Yeah, obviously, because here's the deal. I got confused because like here's the thing. If Ian comes out and makes the announcement, with everybody seeing where he's like, it don't bother me. OnlyFans stuff, it don't bother me. It don't bother me that dudes are jerking off to my girlfriend. He said all that, so like that's all the information I got to go off of. So if I come out and say like I'm a subscriber to Anissa OnlyFans, in the back of my mind, my data says Ian don't give a shit about this. Like he ain't gonna give a fuck about this. Chris is gonna be the one that's upset. But obviously, I've misunderstood the situation.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
man.
so Nick, you basically the next day after he got kicked off, you tweeted out a tweet that you were shocked that like he wasn't put back on. I tweeted out something similar. Talk us through that.
Yeah, dude, it's just kind of fucking are, and it's actually, I guess, in the cards that they would come and double down like this. I don't know. This is who these people have become the last few years, so maybe I shouldn't have been surprised to begin with.
Like yeah, but yeah, so yeah, like if they let me back on the card, obviously no, I'm not gonna come back. Now I know the OnlyFans stuff is like they ain't like it upsets them. So obviously, if I had known it upset them that much, because there's no clarification on the internet, I'm getting mixed signals.
Josh, can you
So now
try
that
to
I have the information,
Josh, can you try to find Pack God and bring him up here? I can't find him. Go ahead.
okay, I'll try to do that.
It's just like for me, like if you have this like code of conduct thing, like that sounds like a corporation. That sounds like I don't know, like a workplace environment. That doesn't really necessarily like work with like YouTubers and content creators and public figures, right?
Well, really, your events have something similar. I mean, like you're involved with all the Misfit stuff, right? Is there
I
anything that like people can't say that could get them in legal trouble from your own
there
thing?
might there might be something in there. I actually don't know. I'd have to
I
like
mean,
ask the
I almost got kicked out a couple of times, but I was given a warning. They told me, shut the fuck up, which I which I did.
and the thing is too, just to clarify, at the end of the day, I don't want to make this like about me. Like whatever's best for charity. If they want me to go fight, if y'all want me to go fight, I'll go fight. If y'all don't want me to go fight, You know, it ain't really that big of a deal. I ain't trying to get fucked over legally.
Actually,
Shit,
that's
though.
a great point that Sam made. I remember Sam made some type of joke somewhere. It is Sam Hyde, ladies and gentlemen. And I remember reaching out to Sam being like, bro, just none of this until the fight. Like, I remember those conversations. It's like, so Froggy should have been the same thing, right? Someone should have called Froggy or emailed him or texted him and said, hey, you got to delete this tweet,
No,
something.
100%. If Ian would have sent me a message and been like, "Hey, Froggy," if Ian would have been like, "Froggy, I don't appreciate like you subscribing to Anissa's OnlyFans," I would be like, "Oh, my bad." Like, but nobody, Ian didn't reach out to me. It was like, "Hey," he didn't reach out to me and let me know that Anissa's OnlyFans was fucking off limits. So like, if he would have gave me that message or called me, like we could have had like a long talk
Here,
about that situation, then that could have been cleared up. But that didn't happen. I just got a text I responded to, and then nothing else after that. So
here's
like,
another question, right? Shouldn't iDubbbz and Anissa have some like compassion for Froggy Fresh when the mother is saying like short jokes and stuff to him? Like the mother was saying some awful, awful things. And I know the internet has seen some screenshots, but you haven't seen them all because remember,
you know what? And to be honest with you, I just want to clarify really they want to know the main reason I even made them responses because I wanted to draw attention to what I knew was already happening because I had this gut feeling that I was about to get kicked out. So once I seen Anissa's mom talking about it public, I was like, "Oh shit, they're about to kick me out." Like, look at how Anissa's mom is already talking about me. I wanted people to see the tone of like how things were ran right there. So like I just wanted to get ahead of because I was like, oh, I got a feeling they're about to kick me out because like they're acting weird. I didn't get no text response from Justin Tracy. Like, and I was like, look at Anissa's mom already talking about kicking out the imp. I was like, look, that was the main reason I wanted to show that because I was like, look, this is the tone that they're about to kick me out with.
Yeah,
and
you knew the decision had been made. Was when you saw that, was that before or after you made the OnlyFans tweet, Froggy?
Um,
after.
after I seen that, I retweet. After I seen like hope it's about replacing the imp, I already knew like, oh, they're kicking me
And
out.
then you,
So I just retweeted it. I retweeted it with the OnlyFans comment about
yeah,
Ida's being a pimp because like I knew like, oh, they're kicking me out anyways. Like, fuck it.
yeah, man,
Um,
they were gunning for you.
I
Keem,
just
you were talking about like the stuff with Anissa's mom. Where did that doxing thing come from? Is that like you or is somebody saying that?
So basically, Harley jumped into this call and he made a bunch of points like real fast where no one could respond to them, and then kept talking and wouldn't shut up. One of the things that he said was something about Froggy doxing Anissa's mom, and Froggy's counter to that is like, no, like her Twitter is very much public. There's a whole article
Yeah,
on it.
there's like
Yeah,
articles over
she's
Twitter
like
with that.
publicly known as her daughter's moderator going back as far as like 2016. Kotaku did a whole write up on her, not on Anissa, on Anissa's mom. Like this is a public figure too.
All well, public figure. It's not like I don't know if you'd call her a public figure.
She's not being hidden, I'll say that. She's pretty much out in the open, as out in the open as you could be.
She's out in the open. She's, people know who she is, but she's not, I wouldn't say she's a public figure, but you know as soon as Froggy started responding to her, she deactivated her Twitter. And for me, that felt like real suspicious. Like they're trying to hide like part of the story, if that makes sense, right? So like Froggy's reacting, he's angry, you're calling me an imp, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then she deletes the whole history of everything she said. So I'm kind of frustrated that iDubbbz and Anissa haven't taken in consideration that part of this is just Froggy reacting to the mom going off, being completely unhinged.
Yeah, but this new context adds a little bit to the discussion. So, like Harley was talking about, well, my mom would go and say some out of pocket shit. Okay, well, that's cool. I don't think your mom is on as online as Anissa's mom. If Anissa's mom is moderating chat for like 4 years, odds are she understands internet etiquette and she knows what's going on, right? So she probably knew if she were to call out this person, there's a meaning. There's a chance this person's going to respond, right? I don't. Let's not pretend this. Let's not infantilize her.
It's kind
Right?
of weird how she's tweeting. Why don't you just text your daughter? That's strange. Anyhow, What do you think, Pat, got about all these new developments? You're new on stage.
I was actually curious because I saw the post that they just made, and it seemed like they were trying to insinuate that he was having like multiple different breaches of their contract, like going back in the past. Is this like a topic that had been brought up at all, or is there any like actual backing behind that, or is this literally just about the OnlyFans thing still? Like, is there any new stuff that surfaced, or?
We don't know because they didn't tell us. They just said multiple violations.
Froggy, do you have any idea at all what they could possibly be talking about, or?
Dude, this is the only thing I can guess. Like, I can tell you, I can break the story, the timeline of events down for you. Sam Hyde is the greatest comedian of all time. I'm training boxing. I was like, this is my end. I could go work with Sam Hyde. So I reach out to Sam Hyde. I'm like, yo, like you like, let's train. He's like, cool, come up. Sam Hyde retweets my video of me going to Providence. 15 minutes later, Ian's calling me. I'm getting out of the shower. I say, let me call you back in 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes goes by. I'm still like almost done getting dressed. He calls me back again. I say, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey, hi. I seen some concerning things on your Twitter. What is your relationship with Sam Hyde? That was literally the first thing he said.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And
But
I said, and I
Froggy,
was like, immediately,
Froggy,
dude, I didn't like the
what is
tone of like feeling like I was being investigated. It felt like a police questioning.
so?
Was that
What was that
iDubbbz?
conversation? Did he tell you, "Hey, don't say anything about Sam"? Did he give you instructions to move forward with training with Sam?
No, so like I don't remember literally. I don't remember exactly how the phone call went. It was like 3 minutes probably, and I was like, he was like, so what is your relationship with Sam Hyde? And I was like, what is this, an investigation? Because I was like, whoa, so like this beef is that real? Like as soon as I'm going to meet Sam Hyde, like it's already a problem.
Was this iDubbbz, by the way? This is iDubbbz, right?
Yeah, this is Ian, and so
It's
I was
actually
like,
crazy.
yeah, so I was like, is this an investigation? Because it was weird to me. And he was like, yeah, it actually kind of is. And I'm like, nah, bro, this isn't something I'm interested in, basically. And so I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, what? This is weird, well, like basically. And it just went us back and forth with me being like, no, nah, like not feeling this phone call. Like you could text me if you want. And then like, so he started texting me like about like, he's got like a problem, like some drama, like Sam Hyde said some hurtful things about him and his wife. And oh yeah, we're on the phone call, and he's like, Sam Hyde said some hurtful things about me and Anissa, and I'm like, dude, like, go to. I said, go talk to a therapist. Like, why is this my problem? Like, why are you putting the? Do you know how many problems I already got at home? Like, do you know how many problems I have in my own life?
Yo,
Do you know how many problems I have in my own life? So now you're telling me
Damn.
like I can't be friends with Sam Hyde, and this is your problem with him? Like, why is that my problem?
And
dude, it's actually
you know what
crazy.
the
What the
fucked
fuck?
up thing is? iDubbbz could just call me. If iDubbbz called me, like I've told him this, I told him if you ask me to stop, I'll stop. Like iDubbbz could have called me and been like, "Hey Sam,
That's the thing, dude. It's like, hey, look at Sam. Don't you think the best thing that could come of this is if you and Ian just squash it? Because really, like, what is the beef between any of us?
if he had
It don't
called
mean
me, bro,
nothing.
if he had called me and he was like, Sam, I know you're training Froggy Fresh. If you fuck around on Twitter and come at me on Twitter, I'm gonna pull his fight." I would have been like, "Cool. I don't want to get anybody's fight fucked up. I don't want to ruin anybody's day. I'll shut the fuck up." Like he could have just been a man and called me.
You know,
God
it's
damn.
actually
Honestly,
Sam. It's actually
honestly,
crazy to me, real quick, because like obviously there's like an unwritten rule on the internet and like real life. You know, like be ready to take what you give out. You know what I mean? Like for example, like Keemstar, right? Like he just talks shit to people all the time, but he's not surprised when a bunch of people start talking shit back to him. It's the same way with me. You know what I mean? Like if I have people like saying horrible shit to me, like I expect it. It's kind of what I deserve. iDubbbz literally like grew his fucking career off of just like in the most vulgar manner, just shit talking and literally trashing on people, right? For you could say for whatever reason, but like it's almost crazy to believe that someone who went so far from just shitting on people is so sensitive now and just can't take the slightest amount of criticism that a little OnlyFans joke by Froggy Fresh is willing he's willing to go and risk $500,000 for charity because of an OnlyFans joke against his wife. I mean, how much of a sensitive little bitch do you have to be? What the fuck?
He's got that
Dude.
ego, bro. He's got that ego, and he knows he could call. Like, I'm not a sociopath. I'm not gonna like torture somebody that can't take it. He knows he could call me and tell me to just stop at any time. Like, the last time, I mean, Jet's in here. Jet, you know, the last time we talked to him on the phone, I had Julian text him from the phone and say 911. There's a problem. Please call. And I just called me. But
See, dude, Sam is just messing around, and I think sometimes people take what Sam does like too seriously. And if like really all Sam is, he's a comedian that takes it all the way to the limit and then won't tell you he's fucking around because it breaks the joke.
But if the
And that's the way Sam
point
is.
being, if iDubbbz called me and was like, "Yo, shut up the fuck up and let's smooth this over, and I'll get Froggy Fresh's fight back," I'd be like, "Cool, you'll never hear from me again. I'll never tweet at you and Anissa again. Get my boy back on the like. I don't care. I don't have an ego like that. I'm not petty." But
Josh, can you bring Mutahar up? Can you bring Mutahar up?
Yeah, I will. One sec.
And I just want to say this, like the way you describe that phone call, if I'm iDubbbz, right, I wouldn't call you and be like doing an investigation. I'd be like, look, you know, me and Sam don't get along. You know, we put a lot of time and energy in this creator clash thing. I don't want it to be about Sam Hyde. So just don't let it hurt the event. All right. Go train with him, have fun, but don't let it hurt the event. Don't make it about Sam Hyde. That's what I would have said to you if I was iDubbbz.
Right, and guess what? Like I didn't even plan on releasing none of the Sam Hyde content until after the event.
Didn't you tell them that? I thought you told them that.
Ian requested it through text. He requested that I did that. What I didn't like that he requested that because that's not. I don't think that's appropriate. I was like, I don't think you should be telling me when I can't release content. Like this is my career. It's what I do for a
But you
living.
complied with it, right?
But I was going to anyways. But I didn't like people telling me that. I thought that was out of line. Cause it's not my problem that you have personal beef with the greatest comedian in the world. If I go to Providence, Rhode Island, and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content. And it's got nothing to do with you. Not everything that people do with Sam Hyde involves iDubbbz, and I think that he misinterprets that. And it's like, so for him to tell me, hey, could you wait until after the event to release that? In my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, I could, but it's weird for you to tell me to do that because it's got nothing to do with you.
I feel like they should just have it in the contracts. It's like no Sam Hyde anywhere near this event. Like if it's just that volatile.
Or they could just be
I
less
see
like not. Maybe they just don't be pussies. That would work.
I see
Yeah, I mean that would be the ideal option, but like if this is such a fucking like response to this, maybe just straight up mention it before you like kick people out of your fights and stuff and make this whole shit show.
I wouldn't even take that personally at this
quick.
point. I wouldn't even take that personally at this point. I think they should have that in the boilerplate there.
So I see Def Noodles has requested to come up on stage. I did try to reach out to you like privately like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but then your attorney told my attorney not to reach out to you and not to talk to you. So, because of the lawsuit, like we're going to have to talk through lawyers. I apologize, but we can't have you on
Can you
stage
add your lawyer to the call?
Imagine Def Noodles' lawyer and my lawyer up here debating this Sam Hyde fucking Froggy.
You guys are pleading the fucking fifth or something every 5 seconds.
Wait,
the lawyer's just monitoring their speech.
Keem, are you legally allowed to talk shit about Def Noodles right now? Like, will you get legal repercussions?
Yeah, I can say whatever I want, but my attorneys tell me not to, and I'm sure his attorneys told him not to say anything about me, you know?
Okay.
It's like one of those things.
Fuck you, Def Noodles, you little bitch.
Shut up, Pat God. Don't do that. Don't get me in trouble.
I don't speak for Keem. I speak for myself.
Anyhow, back on subject, please.
Can we point out how Pat God brought up criticism in general about like this whole thing? He's not able to accept it. It's funny because like his content is what created like the modern drama sphere. Like everything that everybody does now is like downwind of what he was doing 5 years ago. So I just find that funny where he is now.
Imagine a guy like iDubbbz creating a boxing event, and then the fighters can't talk shit to each other. They can't cause drama or to like stir hype for the event. It has to be like seen as like this is about safety and athleticism and raising money, and it's
Safety in a
like,
boxing
Bro,
tournament.
wait, dude, that's
but
why when
no,
Harley
that's
said
how they
that shit,
promote it.
that was so fucking weird. Do you see like Creator Clash as your competitor? Because now once everybody starts like fighting with each other, like the truth starts to come out, and they showed a lot of animosity through him there. I mean, do you look at a charity and go, "This is something that Misfits competes with"?
No, I think Creator Clash is its own thing, and I support it. Like I like their event, but Anissa and iDubbbz have been constantly overboard talking about safety. If you look at Anissa's Twitter, she has talked about boxer safety so many times, like I can't even count. And it's like, at what point do we have to like just like put our brains back into our skulls and understand that two people are putting on boxing gloves and punching each other in the face? Like, there's nothing safe about a boxing match. Any one of these Creator Clasher fighters can die in that ring. Any boxer can die in that ring at any time. There, like, you can do all different types of things. Get a commissioner, good referees, headgear, boxing gloves. You can do things to make it safer, but nobody is safe. You can die in that ring. That's a
I
fact.
will. I'll vouch for Keem on this because I've heard him talk enough behind the scenes about Creator Clash to know that he is a fan and that he's being genuine when he says that he's a supporter of that. And I think Keem is just a fan of influencer boxing in general. Like, he likes cool shit the same way we like cool shit. I like Creator Clash. I think it's fun. However, the safety to talk about the safety shit with Creator Clash, and Nissa is completely unhinged on that one because the mismatches at Creator Clash are worse than any mismatches anywhere else in influencer boxing, with the exception of Jay Swingler versus Churdleys. Like the Creator Clash shit, Harley versus Aaron from Game Grumps. If Harley was like playing nice that night, he could have like put that kid into a fucking coma. Like the mismatches are not good on Creator Clash, man. It's like a lot of it is like one guy that's like fit and knows how to throw with power versus like a skinny fat pear shaped dude that like thinks it's a big joke.
Here's the issue. This is the main issue. Is iDubbbz and Anissa look at me like I'm their competition, and the stuff that I do in influencer boxing is their
That's
competition.
stupid.
And I know that because they constantly take digs at me in interviews.
That's
Like,
so dumb,
there's this.
man. That's so not the way it. Like, I wouldn't listen, Keem. If you were under attack for anything else, I wouldn't step up and be like, "Hey, Keem's the best guy in the world." But I know that that's not what you're thinking. I know that you're like wholeheartedly. You just want to see cool influencer boxing happen.
Yeah, no, Keem is not one of the type of people that's gonna look down on events, even if he thinks like no matter what. He's not the type of person gonna look down on another event.
I just want to add real quick too. Like, a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's different because he's not shit talking a fighter. He's talking someone who's like running the event or whatever, right? But if you like go online, like you could literally watch like 10-minute compilations of like Dana White like beefing and shit talking with like other UFC fighters and like them literally shit talking each other back and forth. You
Bro, we
think
have
Dana
we have
White's
the
just gonna
same
take this?
point with like Vince McMahon. Like, this shit happens even if it's not fighter to
Yeah, we're not
fighter.
fucking like CEOs
Like,
and highlight. We're fucking
uh,
YouTubers,
It's the
bro.
entertainment business. It's entertainment. Like, you know what I mean? Like anything that stirs the pot, it's entertainment. It adds to the fuel. Like, it's just stupid to try to like dismiss all of it.
Especially when this is one of the guys that like generated the drama sphere on YouTube. Like, this was the
Yeah.
guy.
Dude,
not
this
just
is
a
not saying
drama
nothing
sphere,
like
but it's also like you go to other people's events and you spout what, like the N word or some shit, and it's like you're out there being a provocateur. Like, this is your fucking like, this is who you are. This is how you got popular, and it's like now
I mean,
Like,
have
I think
fucking
iDubbbz broke a couple violations at the
Yeah,
TanaCon.
dude, this guy drove up to TanaCon, scared the shit out of her, which was hilarious, by the way.
which is not safe, by the way. If we're gonna fucking throw safety into the
Yeah.
fucking mix, right?
Oh, but he's
That's a
bettering
little
himself, Luda.
dangerous.
He's a better man now.
but at the end of the day, everyone has a right to change, right? Everyone has a right to be, change for the better, how they see the better is. But I don't think this is the better. This isn't
I don't
better
know,
for
dude. The
the
guy was like
fans.
28 years old when this shit was being like. You should probably know your shit by then, but whatever.
No, but what I'm saying is that is in all these interviews, iDubbbz is constantly saying, well, I've changed and I've grown up, and I met my fans and I didn't want to be like them, and I didn't want to cultivate an audience like that, so I've changed. That's what he's always saying over and over
That
again.
hurt. That hurts me because I was an iDubbbz fan.
Yeah, my point is this: I don't think that's good for Creator Clash. Like, I don't think this new positivity and all that stuff is necessarily good. Like, fights need storylines. Like, fights need like some anticipation, and that's what Froggy was doing, right? He was talking shit to his opponent.
Bro, you can't spin it. You can't spin it about positivity and love. It's literally two people going in a cage and beating the shit out of each other for entertainment. Like, how could that remote? Like, they're literally just putting their physical well-being on the line for entertainment. Like, obviously, it's going to be like rotating around toxicity in a certain extent.
One thing I found very strange is that now I'm not an expert in this, but I always thought that like hits to the head caused like dementia or could lead to dementia, and that's one of the charities. So they're raising money for dementia at a boxing event. It just always seemed like an oxymoron to me. I was so confused by that.
I mean,
anyhow. I don't know where we go from here. It's like we didn't get like Mutahar. You read the statement. What were your thoughts?
I thought that shit was a nice Chat GPT prompt. I don't fucking believe that was a goddamn human being writing that shit. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. So everyone's talking about like the toxicity and how like toxicity is good for promoting event, and I agree and stuff. But I can kind of see what iDubbbz is trying to do, make it more like charity, less like fuck you or whatever. But I think there can be like a balance. I feel like they're going so extreme in the like, oh, don't even say shit. Don't even say fuck. Don't even like allude to a joke, Like it could still be fun, tongue in cheek, like back and forth, while still knowing it's for charity and being generally positive. It's not like it has to be the most toxic thing in the world, but at least allow the fighters to make such like.
If we're gonna call the OnlyFans joke like toxic, man, your barometer for toxicity is like at the fucking center of the earth.
that's what I
Like
was
that
thinking.
low.
I
And
know,
also,
right? Like,
and also, Josh, why don't like what bothers me is why can't they just be transparent? Like instead of just saying, like, "Oh, we're kicking off Froggy because of a bunch of different reasons," like just say we're kicking off Froggy because he made a joke towards the promoters, whatever the promoter about her OnlyFans, and that's why. Like, just stop like dancing around the subject. Just say what it is. We all know the reason why you did it. Why are you trying to fucking hide it from people? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Like, who are you tricking, right? Just like be transparent, like a YouTuber does, like a commentary YouTuber does. Just sit down, talk, and be like, "Yo, this is my thought." You can disagree with it. We're all gonna shit on him for the reason, but at least like just say that it's because of the OnlyFans joke. Just say I got pissed. I
agree. At this point in Creator Clash 3, I mean, we're going to be looking at Ryan's toy review versus Fred or something. Like, it's going, like, who are they going to get that's going to play by these rules? Like, I'm so lost. Like,
I think H3 has a couple more employees he could pull, so that's a couple more fighters, right?
By the end of it, it's just going to be Ethan's staff and like Hassan's friends.
So wait, what's the deal with the lawsuit?
It's one thing if your fighter. Listen, it's one thing if your fighter is like one day going around like he's turned full Kanye. You know what I mean? Like you got your full anti-Semitism, you got some racism thrown in there, like everything under the mix, right? But it's like this is such a like light jab, even, and this is coming from a person whose history is not delivering light fucking jabs. So it just comes across as super duper weird to me. It's like, why? Like, it'd be one thing if this was like a fucking event hosted by like Blippi or Ryan's Toys Reviews, right? Like, oh shit, it's a children-oriented event. I get it. You can't even fucking say the word fudge if you wanted to. But like, look, this is hosted by like, what?
Guys, we gotta understand one important point, all right, that I keep forgetting about. At Creator Clash 1, they banned Sam Hyde, and they made statements that Sam Hyde would never be in any reputable program. No reputable boxing organization would have Sam Hyde. I saw an injustice. I wanted to do right by that, right? And Sam Hyde fucking boxed on DAZN in Misfits 1, and he trended worldwide, went absolutely viral. And so maybe it's salt from all of that. Like the minute Froggy goes to train with Sam, it's like, no, not again.
100%. I think that's. Listen, I know psychopaths. I've worked in mental institutions. I've worked with prisoners. I know how these people think. I know how the lowest of humanity thinks. I know how IDubbbz thinks, and I know how drunk Anissa thinks. And that's exactly the situation, Keem.
Sam, can you talk about the first creator clash and the conflict that your team had with Anissa and Ian? Can you talk about that, like what that experience was like?
Of course. And Anissa and Ian. we should start calling him Ian. By the way, that's him taking her last name is so awesome, man. Ian.
I forgot.
So I bought 5 front row tickets. I spent something like $20,000 on front row tickets for Creator Clash 1. And I forgot exactly why Ian had his panties in a bunch over my existence at that point, but what he did was, instead of canceling my tickets and instead of telling me that I wasn't invited, he waited until he was going to wait until I showed up there in person. The reason I didn't show up there in person at Creator Clash 1 was because I was too lazy and I didn't want to fly down. But and I also thought it would be funny to have the 5 front row seats be empty. But yeah, he was going to spring that on me. He was going to wait until I got to Tampa to tell me that I was banned from the event. How crazy is that, man?
No, that sounds familiar. I'm gonna tell you why that sounds familiar. Because when I told him, when he asked me to about the Sam Hyde stuff, and was like, without telling me, it was like he was without telling me I wasn't allowed to go work with Sam Hyde. It was like he kept telling me I wasn't allowed to work Sam Hyde over the course of like 20 text exchanges that like we could get into another time. But I kept asking him, okay, look, I'm going to work with Sam Hyde. It's got nothing to do with you. Am I kicked out of the event? And he would say da 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 da, and not answer my question. I say, dude, look, am I kicked out of the event? And then he'd send me another paragraph not answering my question. And I'd be like, dude, am I kicked out of the event? Like, I have to schedule practice for this week right now with my coach. He wouldn't answer my question. And then he was like, ultimately, it's your decision. That was the last text we had. So I'm like, ultimately, it's my decision. What? I'm going to work with Sam Hyde. He's a comedian. It's got nothing to do with you. So, yes. So I said, okay, thanks. I'll fight. So that was like a week before I'm going to go see Sam Hyde. So then I'm in Providence for a week. So then he waits like 2 weeks to kick me out. Like, that's why I kept asking him, like, am I done now? Because I need to know. Because I'm scheduling training and stuff. Like, that sounds similar to Sam knowing he was going to, like, spring in on him to the last minute, wait till you get to Tampa, and then tell you you're not allowed in. Like, that's why I'm asking for a heads up. Like, obviously, this whole Sam Hyde thing's got you shook for some reason when you could literally just call the dude and just be like, hey, Sam, like, let's squash all this. I know, like, it ain't – because it's not like you think Sam sits in his office all day while he's writing the script for damn fucking MD2 and shit. You think he's sitting there like, hey, how can we fuck with Ian and Anissa today? While I'm trying to get my $1 million brand off the ground.
Dude, Froggy, I think that you should do a live stream, like a whole concert, like a whole show, raise a bunch of money for charity on April 15th.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever makes people happy about the situation. If y'all want me to go away, I'll go away. If y'all want me to fight, I'll fight. If y'all want me to do a concert, I do a concert. Whatever makes people happy, like, cool.
Well, think about how many people are not going to be watching Creator Clash because you're not involved, right?
Well, I mean, they could watch both because, I mean, shit, that's more to charity. Whatever y'all want to do.
I'm just saying, like, that money should still go to your charities that you were trying to raise for, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who's got it worse than fucking kids with cancer? That's, like, the only fun part of life.
Bro, is it just crazy? Like, Froggy's just such a nice guy. Like, he's like the least like toxic person I think I actually know. It's like insane.
It's funny because
like,
Anissa's mom was more toxic than he was in the toxic exchange.
I know.
I only got toxic like that because I knew I was kicked out, and I was just like, "Fuck it."
It's weird, just like of all people, to happen to like Froggy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
Like I said, it'd be one thing if it was the most fucked up jokes that you were going off, if you were just saying some wild shit. But it's like, it was one very light OnlyFans joke, and it's just all right, removed. So unless there's like a million things you've done behind the scenes that we have no fucking idea of, it just sounds like such an fucking
Mudahar,
act
that's
on the
what they're
fight.
making it seem like. They're making it
Yeah,
seem
well,
like there's a million things that he's done behind the scenes. That's what they're
well,
literally saying.
that's why I said the chat GPT prompt. It's like none of those fucking things mean shit to me if you're like, just say, oh, because of a million things behind the scenes that you also don't elaborate on. Like, what? Like,
Yeah,
if you told me what he did behind the scenes, maybe I'd be more sympathetic towards your cause, right?
yeah, we have no details. Like how look, if I'm going to be fair and balanced, how can I when I don't know your side? All I see is what's available to me publicly, and then you kick him. And I'm like, "Well, that's an overreaction." Like, give me your side. What exactly is the issue?
Well, they're saying, Keemstar, they're saying that he violated their quote unquote legally binding code of conduct. They're saying he violated that. So my question is making an OnlyFans joke part of the legally binding code of conduct? I mean, Froggy, you seen the code of conduct?
He broke the law, damn it.
Yeah, he broke the law, I guess. Or some shit.
It's just it's so ridiculous.
The craziest part too is like usually people with OnlyFans and shit. Like I've met a lot of people with OnlyFans, and usually they're like the last people to get offended at an OnlyFans joke. Like people that do fucking OnlyFans. That's why it's almost so surprising to me that like she's that sensitive.
Bro, she's not just an OnlyFans model. She was a fucking titty streamer who routinely had to like fight off trolls in chat for years. Then she became an OnlyFans model. She's been dealing with this stuff for like the last half decade. Why is this still a problem?
And what I'll tell you what the problem is they send out mixed messages about not having a problem with it, but then having a problem with it at the same time.
Well, yeah, it's fake it till you make it, but they never made it.
For anybody that doesn't know the history, this is why it's so infuriating to us, like to anyone that's been on the internet for a while, right? Like so iDubbbz was the content cop, right? Leafy was like an internet bully. So he goes and he targets Leafy and he's trying to find something that Leafy is insecure about, right? And he brings up the point that Leafy has no chin. Like now he's found Leafy's kryptonite, right? And bullies the shit out of Leafy, right? So it's like that's what this guy did. But the kryptonite to iDubbbz is Sam Hyde, and we're watching iDubbbz just lose his mind, hurt his own boxing event over Sam Hyde over and over and over again. It's like his absolute kryptonite.
You've taken like a year from this dude's life, all because of what? A fucking interview, a fucking documentary that went badly, and now he wakes up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
And like I feel like I should just address like one thing too, and like I feel like not to like shit talk nobody or anything like that, but like the whole like thing with like Anissa's like, oh, Anissa's like a mother hen that just like tucks you in and you get a cup of milk and a cookie before bed. Like Anissa never reached out to me one time about anything regarding my training a single time. And I'm not even trying to be like, it's just like when they come out with these statements, it's like it's such a caring environment where everyone is happy and we all wear the same Nike tracksuits. It's just like, no, just don't do that. And then I don't got to address it.
Right. Dad kept making those statements that, like, look, Anissa's the one that calls you all the time to check in on you and make sure you're okay. And like, maybe that's true with Dad. Maybe that is his experience. But that's not been Froggy's. Like, Froggy has said from the very beginning, they don't call him.
No, dude, I got 3 calls from Ian, bro. I got one call from Ian when we were trying to figure out how I could pay for training leading up to the event. I got another call from Ian when he was about to fight Greg Paul. Hold up. Here's another opportunity. This is what really blows my mind, okay? Greg Paul was in the cards for Ian to fight. Greg Paul. And I'm like, I suggested this before. I suggested it to Ian when we first started talking. I was like, dude, you should fight Greg Paul. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. Then Greg Paul's in the card. He calls me. I'm like, dude, do it 100%. Like, this fight will sell out if you fucking fight Greg Paul. 1,000%. He doesn't fucking take the fight with Greg Paul. You want to know why? Because Greg Paul has got this motherfucking roofing hands. Them I fix fucking railroad track hands. And I'll tell you right now, Ian didn't not want to get beat up by no 42-year-old dude who can do your roof in fucking 2.5 hours, who done landscaping for all of Ohio, who's literally probably got the state on his fucking back. So Ian did not want that. That was, look, you know what
I've
that was
been saying this.
So that was the second call. Now look, the third call is 15 minutes after Sam Hyde retweets me. So we got one call about here's how we can figure out your training money. Second call is, hey, I could fight Greg Paul, but I'm not gonna. Third call is, hey, buddy, heard you know Sam Hyde. got some people coming to your house, not literally, but like, hey, buddy, heard you know Sam Hyde. What's going on here? I know everything that Sam Hyde does from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep revolves around me. So what are you guys cooking up over there?
Yeah, to talk about Greg Paul would have destroyed iDubbbz. Greg Paul
Dude,
is
Greg Paul would destroy fucking anybody in this. Greg Paul, let's give respect to Greg Paul in the state of Ohio and what they've made. Because the fucking Pauls, them ain't no fucking joke. I wouldn't fight Greg Paul if I was Ian. So I'm not even mad at him for that. But I'm saying if it's for charity, you got to take that Greg Paul ass whipping and you sell out that damn arena.
Greg Paul is like
Christ.
one of the scariest humans alive. I can't imagine somebody actually fighting that guy. Like, he's just very scary.
It's kind of funny, after all the safety talk, the biggest ass whooping in Creator Clash 2 happened on their own Twitter.
Yeah, and they did it to themselves too. They fucking shot themselves in the face. I can't even believe how I barely nobody did any hardly any work on this. Like, I hardly said shit. They just ripped their own face right off.
Is saying that you're going to subscribe to somebody's OnlyFans, like, is that really like offensive? Like,
Yeah, bro,
how
that's
is that
worth
even an
getting beheaded,
insult?
bro.
If you don't care about the
What
fact
the
that you're on
fuck?
OnlyFans, how is that even an insult?
yeah, it's like you have an OnlyFans.
I'm
though,
gonna
but
follow
do
you on
have an
Twitter. I'm
OnlyFans.
gonna follow you on Twitter.
Yo,
Like
I
that.
just need to add real quick. I was doing some like research just because I was bored, and like I was finding videos of Anissa and like Chris Raygun from a while ago, like literally like going on dates and shit, and like heavy flirting with each other. So like if you actually look at that and then think that Froggy Fresh is Chris Raygun's opponent, it actually makes so much
Bro,
sense for
look
why
it. Can
that's a
I
valid
speak some
criticism.
truth? Can I speak some truth as far from my perspective, bro? Look it. I already knew Ian and Chris Raygun had a history. Like, I already knew they had some stuff going on. So when Ian got a hold of me and was like, "Hey, look, you want to be in Creator Clash?" He was like, "Hey, you want to be in Creator Clash? Here's your two options." And it's like one was like this 115-pound boy who looks like he had never like who looks like he was could walk sometimes, and the other person was Chris Raygun. So obviously Ian knows, okay, Tyler's not gonna beat up some kid who like walks sometimes. He was like, he's gonna take the Chris Raygun fight. I already knew Ian and I already knew Anissa and Chris Raygun had history. I was like, damn, I see all the cards now. Chris Raygun went to Creator Clash 1 and like went there and he probably had sex that night and was like, shit, I could beat up fucking Michael Reeves and Stephen Graham. And he was like, Anissa, put me in this bitch. And he was like, this is how it happened. And he was like, oh shit, fucking Anissa's boyfriend's gonna be fighting. He's gonna win his fucking fight against these fucking nerds. And then it's gonna be like Anissa and fucking him celebrate while I get my fucking face punched in on whoever I fight after I turn down Greg Paul or whatever. So I'm thinking this motherfucker wants me to beat the shit out of Chris Raygun because he knows like I'm one of these creators that don't fucking got like pillow hands. So
Wait, Froggy.
he brings my trailer park ass in there because he wants me to fuck up Chris Raygun. And I was like, I mean, fuck it, whatever like brings money for charity is what I'm down for.
Froggy.
Oh shit! Oh shit! The block just got hot.
I think I figured it out. I think it all makes sense now. All right. I think Anissa still has a luring emotional connection to Chris Reagan. I think they still have something brewing in the
Bro,
background.
look
I
it.
think
It wouldn't have to be like this, but when you start threatening lawsuits, it's like once you tell me, "Hey, shut up, buddy," it's like, what? No,
no,
no, I can't
because
shut up.
Froggy, think about it. Anissa secretly has a connection to Chris Reagan. She's seeing your videos of you on Twitter, absolutely jacked, ripped, ready to beat the shit out of him. She
Bro,
can't
dude,
help.
there's
She
like
can't help
websites.
watch
Yeah,
her
dude, the
secret love,
websites,
Chris Reagan, get his ass kicked. So
dude,
she
the
needs to do
websites
anything
are
she can to stop it.
right. I didn't even know I was this good at boxing, but the websites are giving me like a 93% chance of winning just because they could tell what trailer park I grew up in.
Dude, this is wildly insane because, like, look, what kind of proof or evidence is there out there of Chris Raygun and Anissa like being a thing? Because it's
I'll tell you
always
what evidence there is. I'll tell you what evidence there is. Bro, when we gone out to damn Denny's in this when that Mucha Lucha, shout out to John Hennigan, the Mucha Lucha wrestling event. Bro, Chris and Ian, I mean Anissa and Chris got so much damn chemistry. I swear to God, they were damn talking the whole damn night back and forth to each other. When I would try to talk to Chris Raygun, it looked like Anissa would get upset at me. And I'm to be honest with you, Chris. And to be
Oh
honest with you,
shit!
I was feeling Chris Raygun too, so I even get it. because I was feeling Chris Ray Gun. I was like, dude, if I was bi or gay, I fuck with Chris Ray Gun heavy. So
Whoa,
it's like
what?
me and Chris would be chatting it up. When me and Chris would be chatting it up, it was like Anissa be looking at me like I'm trying to take her fucking man.
God damn. Keem, to answer your question too, I'm literally watching a video right now on Anissa's YouTube channel, and she's like basically, like, it looks like they're dating. Like if you were to show this to anybody, they look like they're dating. They're going out to
So-
eat at restaurants, like fancy restaurants by themselves. Like it looks like they're dating.
So the theory goes like this, right? She couldn't date Chris Ray Gun because Chris Ray Gun started dating Lacey Green. She lost her opportunity. So she started dating a Chris Ray Gun lookalike, which is iDubbbz, because they look similar. That's the online theory and meme.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you guys remember when Anissa was like trying to show her boobs to Leafy?
What?
You guys don't remember that? I don't know if I have that accurate, but there was like she was making the moves on Leafy like a year before the content cop went out where iDubbbz attacked Leafy.
Bro, what the fuck?
Josh, do you have those screenshots? Like what were the tweets? I can't remember. It's been such a long time ago.
The screenshots of what?
Anissa hitting on Leafy. Something about she wanted to show him her boobs or something. I can't remember.
That's before my time. That's like 2016, dude. That's
Aren't
like
there a ton of screenshots of like Anissa trashing iDubbbz to her Patreons or something? Anyone got those screenshots? Because those are funny.
No, well, I don't even know that lore. I know.
You know what?
hitting
You know
on
what I
Leafy.
feel. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I really didn't buy none of this at the beginning until I was living in it. I kept always hearing people saying like, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, and I'd always like, nah, whatever. Like they can work out their problems, and I was never buying into that bullshit. But I swear to God, when like once you live an event, it's like, okay, I think Ian met the wrong person, and then I think it's like now that like I think like the person you would fall in love with, you spend time with, it's like you kind of bond together, and I honestly think to a certain degree, like. I honestly think it's just like I think sometimes you bond with the wrong person, it can take you to make the wrong decisions, maybe.
So like Anissa bonded with her mom.
You gotta watch out who you spend time with, man. That's factual.
Because when I met my wife, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I met my wife, I got better the more time I spent with her because she like was honestly a better person than me. But I feel like, dude, honestly, it seemed like so when Ian as soon as he starts messing with Anissa, it's like Ian goes from the person who would be dogging people, who would sue people, to then like his event that he's running is suing people. It's like a complete flip.
well, according to them, iDubbbz saying the N-word to Tana was actually Anissa's idea. So,
And I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know. Like I'm not trying to. Here's the deal. If they can work through this, but here's what I think at the end of the day. If me making this OnlyFans joke caused this much of a problem, then there's some real pain in that relationship regarding that scenario. So I think it would be okay if Ian just said, "Hey, Anissa."
I mean, with the lore that I was like just heard right now, with like Chris and Anissa, maybe it is a sore point because you are kind of referencing them together or whatever. Maybe that, like, if I had to like totally be like open and like try to understand every angle here, even then it's still an overreaction. But like, if you're bringing up like Chris Ray Gun and Anissa together, I'm sure that's going to be a sore point in any relationship.
I guess
Like,
them
if somebody brought up if somebody brought up like another ex in my current relationship, I wouldn't like to hear that, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can totally respect that. And like that's the thing is like Ian. So to me, it confuses me because I have like this bravado where it's like, this don't fucking bother me. Like this OnlyFans shit don't bother me. But obviously, when it goes to this point, it's like, oh, there's actually some real pain in this relationship about this scenario. And honestly, I feel like Ian really feels that way. He needs to straight up just talk to Anissa and be like, hey, this shit is breaking my heart and has since you started it. I actually love and care about you. And when
Damn.
people bring this up, it hurts me. So if you stopped, could heal our relationship and we could grow closer together and continue to make sacrifices.
Yo, Froggy,
You're a
dead
good
ass.
kid. You're a fucking good kid, Froggy Fresh. You are a good man.
Dead ass.
Dude,
I think the
you
problem.
have been treated so 1 minute. You have been treated so horrible. You've been shit on by these people. They're threatening to fucking sue you. And you're still just trying to get to the bottom of it. And you're
Honestly,
trying
because
to
honestly, I don't even think divorce is actually the answer. Because everyone's like, you need to leave that bitch, blah blah. But I'll be honest with you, it's like I don't think divorce is actually the answer. Because I think once two people agree, like, hey, we're about to do this shit together, I don't think divorce is ever the answer. So honestly, what they need to do is Ian needs to be like, this is what's fucking me up, and we need to work through this shit because this shit hurt.
So iDubbbz needs to actually man up and tell his wife, like, hey, look, we got some issues. We need to solve them.
Yeah, this shit hurt.
Yeah, like
Bro,
I was thinking though, like I think part of the problem is, iDubbbz used to have a special power called Virgin Wrath, and he'd take the anger that he had around his virginity, and he would use it as a mechanism to attack other people and to be the iDubbbz that we all knew. And the problem is, he finally got some pussy in his life, and now he's just turned into a bitch, and he's lost it. He's lost it. He has no more of that built up aggression because now whenever he wants, he can just go take it out on Anissa. So now it's all gone. Like we need to get iDubbbz's Virgin Wrath back. It's the only way we could possibly fix this conundrum.
I don't know.
I
Does
mean,
anyone here just think it's possible Ian just sucks now? I'm sorry. I get
Yeah,
tired on this
'cause,
whole
like-
Anissa thing. Like, at some point, you have to hold him accountable for the shit that he does.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I
like you
mean,
guys are
like,
putting way too much blame on her. They're
Dude,
both
what it
married.
reminds me of
You
is
have
like
to decide these things together.
what it reminds me of is like it reminds me of like not to make a crude analogy, but it reminds me of instead of putting clothes on Anissa, he demands that the entire audience is blindfolded.
wow, that was intelligence right there. That was deep. That was
That was
levels.
deep.
Getting biblical tonight.
That was actually
levels.
deep, bro. Like I'm never gonna forget that quote, Froggy. Like my whole life, I'm gonna remember that.
But what Froggy just said makes perfect sense, right? It's not that they are wrong. It's that the entire audience, everybody mad at the decision, they're the ones that are wrong. It's like it's deep. What is the solution here, though? What's in the future for Froggy Fresh? Like, how do you